Welcome to another episode of the CHL Top 10 show presented by Kia. My name is Scott Van Kunit. In this week's show, we check in with trade deadline additions from the OHL leading Ottawa 67s and Memorial Cup hosts Kamloops Blazers. First, reigning OHL playoff MVP Logan Morrison tells us what it was like moving from the Bulldogs to the 67s and how he can use his Memorial Cup experience to help his new club. Then, Anaheim Ducks prospect Olen Zellweger tells us about the opportunity to play closer to home and how the Blazers are preparing for their Memorial Cup run. Here's Logan Morrison. From the fifth-ranked team in the Kia CHL Top 10 rankings, he's fourth in OHL scoring with 70 points in 43 games. It's Ottawa 67's forward Logan Morrison. Logan, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Is it still weird hearing from the Ottawa 67's Logan Morrison?
Yeah, I'd say I'm starting to get used to it a little, maybe, but no, it definitely is strange kind of hearing that. But no, it sounds good for sure.
You spent 3.5 years in Hamilton, obviously winning a championship there last year. What were your initial thoughts when GM Matty Turek approached you about Ottawa?
Yeah, obviously it was kind of a stressful time, kind of knowing that Hamilton's kind of going for a rebuild and that I was going to be traded. So no, I was in constant communication with Matty there, and he was great about it and kind of never left me in the dark and kind of wanted what's best for me. So when he mentioned Ottawa, I kind of knew all along that was definitely a spot that I would love to go. And when he told me that they wanted me, it kind of seemed like a perfect fit. So no, I couldn't be more happy to be here.
So tell me a little bit about Ottawa. You know, the team anyway. You played them in November, you played them again in December. What were your thoughts about the team before you joined them?
Yeah, I obviously knew they were really well coached. Obviously, with Dave here, he demands structure and kind of playing defense first and going from there. Even last year when we had our amazing team in Hamilton and Ottawa was kind of in a rebuild stage, you could say they always give us tough games. I know the TSN game is 1-1, came down to a shootout. They just they always honestly always give us our toughest game. So I knew that they were really well coached and a ton of great players. So I was really excited.
Maybe since you mentioned Dave Cameron, what's kind of the biggest difference between Dave Cameron and Coach Jay McKee?
No, I'd say they are different, but they are kind of similar in ways that they really want structure in the D zone and kind of staying connected and coming back to the middle. So there is similarities for sure. I'd say Dave is definitely he definitely prides himself on defense and kind of going from there. But both coaches are great on kind of let players be creative, coming up the ice and in the offensive zone. So I can't say enough good things about both of them so far.
Who is the first one on the team to welcome you to Ottawa?
I kind of knew Cam Tolnay, just kind of growing up playing against him a bit. So when it was kind of announced, he texted me, and that was kind of nice. I actually didn't really know one person on the team, so kind of a bunch of new faces when I arrived the first day. But it was a really easy transition. Everyone's really nice.
So let's expand on that a little bit more. You know, a few days after you get acquired by Ottawa, they go out and get Pavel Mintyukov.
Yep.
How were you guys received in the room? Was there, was it open arms? Was there a little hesitation? Were the boys in the room excited?
Yeah, I'd say it was definitely. I think most guys were excited. I think the older guys were kind of telling me that they saw all these other teams making all these moves, and they were kind of waiting, seeing what Ottawa was going to do. So when they heard that they were getting me and Pav, I think they were really excited and kind of knew that Ottawa or James Boyd kind of wants to win this year too. So I think they were really excited and ready to get going.
What are kind of the similarities between Mintyukov and Staios? You know, both like Staios that you played with last year, obviously. A couple of stud defenders. How nice is it to have somebody like that on your back end?
Yeah, it's great when you can have a D like both of them, kind of puck moving D who can skate and kind of lead the rush or join the rush. It adds an extra layer of offense for sure. Especially with Pav, he'll be behind the net in the O-zone and you won't even know, and he's just buzzing around. He's a great skater, so he can get back too. So no, both of them are amazing players, and I'm really happy to have played with both of them.
And then, Cameron and Boyd, what were their message to you, or what have they asked of you since being in Ottawa?
Yeah, I think they just I think they expect me to kind of be a leader of this team. Obviously, kind of going through it last year, I kind of have experience and kind of obviously I know what it takes to win and how hard it is. So I think that experience is kind of really valuable to any team and just help these guys realize how difficult it is to win in this league. And obviously they expect me to be a big part in helping them do that.
So how are you able to become a voice in the room as the new guy without kind of overstepping?
Yeah, I think it takes a couple games for sure. Obviously, my first game there, I wasn't being crazy in the room and saying all these things when I didn't really know any of the guys. But as as weeks go on a bit, you kind of get more comfortable joking around and stuff. And then when it gets serious, I feel like you feel comfortable enough to kind of you feel respected enough, I'd say, to kind of say some things. Sorry, I feel like guys are gonna listen. So it kind of takes. I'm not saying the first day to come in and act like I'm running the show there. So it took a couple of weeks, but I think I'm at the point now where I'm respected enough to say some things and guys are listening.
How are you able to use, your experience, your playoff MVP, run last year to help out the guys in the room?
Yeah, like I said before, just kind of really telling them like how much we need every single guy in that room to be productive, to win. Not even be productive, just know their role and take pride in that every single day. And if you win a championship, you need every single player, even if you're not playing your scratch or anything, you need to still bring positive energy. It's just crazy how much every single guy's role matters if you want to win a championship. So that's kind of what I've been saying, and I think guys are starting to realize that, and we're looking to get on a roll here, obviously with a good weekend last weekend.
Do you see any similarities between the 67s that you're on now and your championship team in Hamilton last year?
Yeah, there definitely is some similarities and there's some differences in the play style for sure. But I just feel like the energy is kind of similar, where guys really believe that we can go on a deep run here, and you can just tell right away the vibe in the room is special for sure. That guys are really excited to go on a deep playoff run. So that's kind of the similarity I feel.
Well, like I said, you spent 3.5 years in Hamilton. So, maybe what was the biggest off ice adjustment for you? I talked to Riley Kidney last week, and he went from Bathurst to Gatineau, and he said that the adjustment for him was the bigger city. But, Hamilton, Ottawa, cities not too dissimilar in size.
Yeah.
So maybe what was the biggest change for you?
Yeah, I'd say just kind of familiarity. Obviously, I kind of knew Hamilton. Like, I knew that city like it was my home for sure. Obviously, being there for 3.5 years, like you said. So, just kind of going to a new city, and you realize how different it is, and every organization is different too. But both have been amazing to me. So, there is definitely differences, but I've been treated nothing but the best here. My bills have been amazing. So. I have zero complaints.
Obviously, on the ice, it didn't take you too long to adjust. You had 6 points in your first two games, but how has that process been, getting to know your line mates and just getting the chemistry that way?
Yeah, it's been an adjustment for sure. Obviously, I was really familiar with my line mates in Hamilton. Obviously, guys like Hayes and that we played together for 4 years, so we kind of knew each other well and what we liked out there. But yeah, like you said, it was kind of an easy transition. I was playing with great players here too, so it definitely takes some time to build some real chemistry. Kind of talking on the bench after every shift, seeing where guys like to be passed to, and you kind of develop it naturally. I'd say just playing together game after game, you kind of start to pick up on things of different guys and what they like. So I feel like I'm starting to do that for sure with guys.
Well, a week after you start in Ottawa, your old team comes to town.
Mm-hmm.
What was that first game against them like?
Yeah, it was definitely a little weird. It was kind of frustrating too. I got injured in like my second or third shift that game, so I couldn't even really play, which was really frustrating. I was really looking forward to that, but kind of seeing those jerseys on the other end and I wasn't in them was definitely kind of weird. But no, it was cool. I got to see them after the game and check up on them, and it was definitely a weird experience for sure.
And then a couple weeks later, your first trip to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Even more weird going in the visiting room there.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely something else. Kind of not going in the homeroom in that rink, and no, it was really emotional. They did a little ceremony for me before the game, and had Steve Stais and Matty Turek come out and give me a jersey. So it was really nice, and kind of sucked that we lost that game, but no, it was definitely really cool, and I couldn't be more happy with my time in Hamilton.
On the ice, who was the first one to chirp you?
It's kind of crazy that a lot, like it seems like no one from our team last year is there anymore. But guys like Lawson Church, Jordan Donovan, Van Fleet, they were in my ear all game. But no, it was all in good fun for sure.
You Last year your goalie was Marco Costantini. You go to Ottawa, now you've got his brother. Is it weird seeing the familiar face there?
Yeah, it is. I think they're the same person too, pretty much. I see tons of similarities with them. So no, it's crazy how similar they are.
Was there anyone on the 67s before you got there that you just, you hated to play against, and now that you're playing with them, you're like, oh, I'm happy I'm on this side of it?
Yeah, I'd say Brady Stonehouse for sure. I remember uh, like the first game we played against him this year, we were going at it pretty good, chirping each other. So that was funny that we were joking about that like a couple of days I was in Ottawa, that how much we were going at it our first game against each other. So no, he's a great player. He knows his role, and he gets under guys' skin, and I think he got under mine a ton. So no, I'm really happy he's on my team now.
What's been kind of the biggest surprise for you since arriving in Ottawa? Maybe is the guys in the room, some skill on the team. Maybe that Coach Cameron isn't quite as intimidating as he appears when he's on the other side of the ice.
Yeah, I'd say like you said about Dave. I think you kind of hear him in interviews and whatnot, what the media sees, and you kind of think he's some like really intimidating guy. Doesn't isn't personal, but when you kind of know him and how he interacts with the team, he's actually a really funny guy, and it's really easy to tell how much he cares about his players and everyone in the organization. Honestly, he treats everyone amazingly. So I've kind of found a new level, or I wouldn't say a new level. Obviously, respect him before. I think he's really respected in this game, but I've kind of really admired how well he treats people.
You guys have 20 games left in the regular season. What sorts of things do you still think that the team needs to kind of fine tune to be ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's just I think right now we get up for the games where we're playing against other top teams, but then when we're playing teams maybe lower on the standings, we kind of I wouldn't I'm say play to their level, but kind of maybe take them for granted a little. So, and I think if you're looking towards the playoffs in the first round, we're going to be playing a team that's below us. So I think we're really trying to dial that in, and obviously every day kind of get better at our systems too. We obviously all trust Dave and what he's saying. So if we execute it, I think every guy believes that we can have success. So I think it's just it's a work in progress every day. Obviously, building up to playoffs, you're never perfect. So we're just kind of trying to dial in everything really.
Well, big test this week. By the time we put this out, it'll be Thursday. So we can say tonight, you guys start your home and home against the Gatineau Olympique, which is obviously a rare interleague matchup that is special just for Gatineau and Ottawa. So how nice is it to get to play against one of the hottest teams in the QMJHL?
Yeah, I think it's a really good measuring stick for us, honestly. They loaded up too. They're looking to go on a run too. So I think it's a great test for us to kind of see where we're at. And I haven't been here for too long, but I've heard it's a pretty crazy rivalry. So I think both teams really want to win, and both teams are really good this year. So I think it'll be a really good game, and kind of good for us to see kind of where we're at.
And like I said before, when I was talking to Riley Kidney, I asked him from his perspective. But you've played in the Memorial Cup, so maybe how much value is there in a series like this? Because nobody else gets to play these interleague games and gets to test against the Q or the Dub. It'll just be you guys.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And I think that every league kind of plays a different style of game. Like I'd say, I think the Q is more run and gun and kind of offensive, and so it does prepare you for the Memorial Cup kind of how other leagues like to play, and obviously we're the only team that kind of gets to experience that in the regular season, which is a good advantage for us. So we're kind of looking to kind of play our system, and yeah, we're ready to go here for sure.
How do you guys end up preparing for a game, against a different league like that?
Yeah, I think it's just doing like we'll probably do some video on them. I think our coaches are really well prepared, and they'll have us ready to go, and kind of we'll watch a bunch of video on Gatineau and kind of what they like to do and what their systems are, and special teams and stuff like that. So obviously it is a little different with the different league and everything, but no, we'll be prepared for sure.
On the CHL TV, they're going to be both stream free, so anybody can tune in and watch these games. But why should people tune in and watch, the best team in the OHL against one of the hottest teams in the QMJHL?
Yeah, well, I think you just answered that question for yourself, really. Obviously, it's two great teams, and you kind of don't get this anywhere else. Obviously, where it's kind of an interleague matchup in the regular season with the rivalry that we have, and I think both teams really want to win. So, no, if you want to pretty much watch a playoff game in the regular season, I think there's no reason you shouldn't tune in.
Now, the odds are your road to the Memorial Cup this year is going to once again go through North Bay. Obviously, you guys swept them in Hamilton last year. They're a little bit older, more experienced this year. You have one more game against them this year on Family Day. So how important is that test for you guys?
Yeah, obviously we're not looking ahead too much to that right now, but we know that that's definitely a huge game in the standings. We're looking to get first place and kind of have home ice throughout the whole playoffs, and that game's huge for that. They're kind of on our tails a bit more than we'd like for sure in the standings. So it'll be another great measuring stick game for us too. Obviously they're a top team in the league, and someone we'll definitely have to face if we want to win it all. So that'll be a great game for sure.
As for yourself, final year in the CHL, have you been able to kind of take a step back at all and just soak everything in this year?
No, I don't honestly don't think I have. I'm kind of just taking it day by day, and trying to do anything I can to kind of earn a contract here, and get another championship. That's kind of my two main goals. I definitely, once you get the feeling of winning, you definitely want to do it again. So that's kind of what I'm focused on, is helping this team win in any way I can. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that it is my last year, but no, I haven't sat down and thought about it for sure. But that time will come, and no, it's been a special 4 years for sure.
Do you remember your first season in the league, like maybe your first game?
Uh, I don't even know if I remember my first game. Honestly, I think my first memory of my rookie season is my first goal, maybe, and that seems like a blur too. It's kind of crazy how fast it goes, and it's crazy how long ago that seems, but how fast it goes at the same time, which is crazy. And no, once I sit back and kind of reminisce of how much fun I had over the 4 years, it'll be pretty special.
Well, like you said, you're still working towards getting that contract. So what do you continuously work on to become a better player?
Yeah, I'd say every day in practice, just before or after, whether it's shooting pucks, whether it's doing a couple skating drills, whether it's just anything. Obviously, it's that time of the year where it is a grind. So you want to be feeling fresh for your games as much as possible, but it just takes that extra 20 minutes before or after, just do the little things, and yeah, I feel like that's been helping me a lot.
You mentioned staying fresh, and maybe that's a perfect thing that you can help your new teammates out with, and knowing what the grind of the playoffs is. How do you manage to stay fresh throughout a long playoff run?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely not easy at all to have the body feeling good. Obviously, there's some things you can't control, but I think it's just the little things, like making sure you're warming up correctly, and like even after games, make sure you're cooling down, stretching, getting any treatment you need. It's anything that'll make your body feel better. Obviously, it's not going to feel great in the playoffs. It is what it is. You're going through battle every day. So, but it's doing anything you can really to make it feel even 1% better, honestly.
And maybe how has Logan Morrison, playoff MVP improved from last year to this year, or how do you keep evolving as a player?
Yeah, I think there's never any I don't know the word, satisfaction really. I knew that I had more to give even this year, and more to lead. I kind of knew that coming back in the league this year after last year, I'd be a guy that teams kind of key on and kind of want to shut down, and I've taken that with pride. And no, I just come into every game trying to dominate and trying to be a great teammate too, a good person, guys that teammates want to come up to if they have anything wrong or want to be around. So I take tons of pride in that. So there's never any perfection, and you're always getting better.
Awesome. Lastly, what's it been like watching, McTavish in Anaheim and Xhekaj doing his thing in Montreal this year?
Yeah, that's been amazing. Obviously, we all keep in touch. Kind of winning last year, we'll be tied together forever as champions. So to see them already succeeding in the NHL, I feel like everyone knew McTavish was gonna, but kind of seen Xhekaj come out of nowhere and kind of the things he's doing. It's great to see. They're two amazing people. They kind of, yeah, they couldn't have been better for us last year. Obviously, our two big acquisitions there. So no, it's great to see.
Doesn't it seem like Montreal is just the perfect place for Xhekaj at this
Yeah.
point? Like he's just been embraced so well there.
Yeah, he already seems like he's the fan favorite there, which is in a city like that, he's yeah, that's pretty special. So no, it's definitely really cool to see that.
Awesome. Logan, thank you very much. Good luck in the final 20 and hopefully another long playoff run for you guys.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
My next guest is from the 9th-ranked team in the Kia CHL Top 10 rankings. They're riding a 4-game win streak, but more importantly, are hosts of the 2023 Memorial Cup. He's Kamloops Blazers defenseman Olen Zellweger. Olen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Are you getting used to hearing Kamloops Blazers and Zellweger in the same sentence today?
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. I think it's almost been a month now, so there's been some exciting hockey going on and getting more familiar with the fan base. So it's been pretty exciting last few weeks.
You spent 159 games with Everett, regular season games. What were your initial thoughts when Dennis Williams approached you about the possibility of being moved this year?
Yeah, obviously it's an interesting topic, and being traded is always difficult. So but knowing coming here to Kamloops, such a great organization, such great opportunities ahead for the team, and it all seemed good, I think, for both sides, and it's a pretty exciting opportunity.
Were Stan Coven and Bankier, in your ear at the World Juniors at the possibility of this happening?
I mean, yeah, there's lots of guys are joking around about trades and stuff, whether they're in the OHL, the Q, or the WHL. They're always joking around about it, but nothing really too serious, obviously, because we're there for the Team Canada. But yeah, they're joking around about it a bit.
How much easier is it coming to a new organization when you've already got some familiar faces there, along with Hofer coming with you as well?
Yeah, it's pretty nice to have some people I already know on the team, and obviously coming with Hofer, pretty familiar. Played a lot of games with him, so that makes it a lot easier, especially throughout the first week or two, and you kind of got someone you can lean on or talk to. So yeah, that was pretty nice to have.
And just the opportunity to get the chance to play in the Memorial Cup, how exciting is that, knowing that you're there no matter what?
Yeah, for sure. That's super exciting. That's the dream. That's the end goal for I think every junior hockey player is to win the Memorial Cup. So to already be in the tournament is one thing, and that's awesome. I'm super excited for the playoffs as well. We just blocked it up a few games ago, so super excited about starting that and getting going.
What was the message from Coach Clouston when you got to Kamloops? What did he want your role to be, or what did he kind of say for you as a leader or whatever in the room?
Yeah, for sure. I think he just wants me to be confident, play my game, and I think the big thing for players being traded and stuff is I'm here to help make the team better, whether that's on the ice, off the ice. So whether I can lead by example or lead in the room, those all help a lot. And and I just got to do my best to help the team win more games. And at the end of the day, that's the goal: win as much as we can. So it's an exciting opportunity, especially with the depth and the group that we have here.
Well, obviously, it was a massive deal that brought you to Kamloops. How do you and Hofer, avoid putting too much pressure on yourselves to live up to a massive deal like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what Hofer's doing, but for myself, I think just being confident in yourself. Obviously, this organization has a lot of value around both Hofer and myself. So I just use that as a confidence. They believe in me. They want me to play my game, help this team. So I don't really feel the pressure. I just need to execute our game plan, and I think things will go good.
And when you guys first showed up in the dressing room, what was that like? Were you received with open arms? Was everybody excited like you guys were two of the final missing pieces?
Yeah, I think they're pretty excited. Obviously, getting some players, they feel that buzz or excitement that the team might be getting better. So obviously, players are sad when their friends and teammates are traded. So there's that part of it too. You gotta feel for those guys, losing teammates. But at the same time, they were very welcoming. The management and staff were also very welcoming. But yeah, it's different going into another team's dressing room for the first time. First time I've been traded, and it's definitely a different experience coming into another team's room.
Not only a different team, but obviously you're playing in Everett, so you're coming back, into Canada to play.
Yeah.
What were some of the biggest, maybe off ice differences for you or
Yeah.
adjustments?
Like living in the US is a lot different, I think, for like the restaurants and even driving and stuff like that is so much different. So busy down in the Seattle area, and it's nice to be back in Canada. I think that's pretty cool and a little bit closer to home now as I'm from Edmonton area. So yeah, it's nice to my other family members other than my parents are closer to here, so they're able to watch a lot easier. So that's a good thing.
And obviously on the ice, the adjustment's gone pretty well. Must be a little bit easier with such a deep stacked team. But how's it been on the ice for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, we've been playing pretty well in the last few games. I think there's a little bit of a learning curve, especially when you insert two new players into the lineup, and I'm trying to figure other players out. Same with Hofer probably. So I think we're both starting to really find our game, find some chemistry with players we haven't played with before. So it's been really good. We're looking forward to the next stretch of games here. I think we got 2 at home, and then we're on our Alberta swing. So that's going to be exciting time.
Yeah, we'll quickly touch on that Alberta swing for a second. Like, how important is that for you and the rest of the team, just as a team bonding experience, really, a tune up for the playoffs still, but like to just come together as a group even closer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I already went on the Saskatchewan swing with the Silvertips this year, so I think I'll play in every arena in the league this year. So that's pretty cool. And it's just super good for the team. You get to have dinner with the whole team, every night almost. You're hanging out all day on the bus, and yeah, it brings the guys closer. We're going to be excited to play on the road. Like some guys have never played in those buildings, so there's some anticipation and excitement. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun hockey games. There's some competitive teams there, and we're looking forward to it.
Now, less than a week after you came to Kamloops, you're back in Everett. What was that game like? How were you received by the crowd? Going into the visitors' dressing room, what was all that like?
Yeah, it was different for sure. Like going into the other room, standing on the other bench during pregame. Warming up there. It's just all different for sure. But I felt there was some support from fans in Everett. My old billets are there, so I appreciate all the things that they've done for me and what that organization has done for me. But yeah, at the end of the day, I wanted to win that game very badly. So no, it was a really good game. I felt both teams played well, and yeah, it was really nice to get the win.
Who on the tips beaked you first?
I don't know. The start of the game was a little weird because I think I got a cross-checking penalty on Berezowski and in the first minute or something, and
end line. Hamill picks up off the glass towards the blue line. Zellweger knocks down Berezowski, and a delayed penalty is going to come against Olen Zellweger.
I think he ended up scoring on the power play.
Bruce back for Sutter. One-time shot tipped wide. Rebound, they score! Picking up right where he left off. Power play goal. Jackson Berezowski. And Berezowski stares down the penalty box on his way back to the bench.
And then like a few minutes later, I scored, so.
Minton along the goal line out in front. Zellweger shoots and scores. Olen Zellweger in his return to Everett. Now it's his turn to stare down the Silvertips bench.
It was pretty intense, and it was good. I wouldn't want it any other way. So it's fun to compete against a lot of players you know. So yeah, it was a good atmosphere, and it was a good game.
Maybe the biggest surprise, joining Kamloops, if it's somebody in the room or skills of a guy that you maybe hadn't noticed before, or just the buzz in the city. What's been the biggest surprise?
Yeah, I think the skill is very high in the room. There's a lot of these players that are very, very good. So, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that are impressing me. It's whether they're playing physical or scoring goals in key moments for sure. But the fans have been pretty awesome. We've been skating with the younger kids and stuff, and it's just it's pretty impressive how many people are there and how big the support is. I think every home game I played, it's been pretty close to sold out. It's pretty exciting, when you score, it's loud, it's good, and I think everyone's getting pretty excited for playoffs and the Memorial Cup.
Well, your road to the Memorial Cup, obviously you guys are there, but you're going to want to go through the front door, and everybody wants to win the championship to get there. So it's probably going to, the way it's shaping up anyway, head through Seattle. What do the Blazers have to do? And I know you're familiar with Seattle, but to be able to beat a team like Seattle in a 7-game series.
Yeah, for sure. I think the big thing is it's a 7-game series. It's not going to be one game; it's going to be 7, and we need to win 4 of them. So we're starting our preparation now. I think every game matters. You need to build good habits. You need to be prepared. You're not just going to show up and knock off a top team. So yeah, we're gonna have to be resilient, and there's gonna be ups and downs to the series for sure. And I think we're excited. We want to play that team. We want to have a hard road to getting to where we want to be. So yeah, it's very exciting, and we're looking forward to hopefully having that opportunity.
You have one more game against them on March 7th. Nice to be able to get one more test against them, especially with all the lineups finalized now.
Yeah, I think for sure that's a big game. Obviously, when we have marked on our calendar, for sure, it's kind of it's a big game league wide, I think, and it's important for us to feel good in that game. You know, get used to playing against that team because it might be someone we face in the playoffs.
I don't want to look past, the playoffs or anything, but do you guys ever look at the O and the Q and just kind of see what teams are doing what there and kind of trying to figure out who might be coming to play at the Cup?
I don't know how much the guys really look at that. I mean, sometimes I keep up with how some of my old friends are doing from the World Juniors and stuff like that. How they're doing on their teams. You see the Kia top 10, and if some of the guys are on those teams or not. So yeah, it's cool to see that stuff, and I'm sure the guys will have a closer eye maybe once playoffs comes around. But for now, it's just focused on our game and what we're doing.
I know you're meticulous about what you put into your body and how you prepare and everything. How can you help the team and just kind of prepare the mental side, the physical side for the grind of the playoffs and then playing until June?
Yeah, for sure. I think your nutrition preparation for the games is very important. Like we have full weeks right now, which are I think very important. You can't let them slip away. You need to use them to prepare for the playoffs. Like whether that's extra training or maybe you need someone who needs extra rest. You need to really capitalize on these opportunities to get prepared for playoffs. So you can't just roll into playoffs not ready, not physically ready, because it's going to be long. It's basically another season, and it's at another level. So yeah, I just try to do what I can best to prepare, and I know other guys will follow and do their best as well.
How does your experience, at NHL camps, at World Juniors, how is that going to benefit you?
Yeah, I think World Juniors for sure will benefit. I think more in the Memorial Cup, kind of that almost same idea. It's super short-term event. It doesn't matter what team you're playing. It doesn't matter. It just matters the game at hand, and you need to be ready to play anyone because everyone's going to be good. It doesn't matter who they are. And yeah, the NHL camp, prepares you for what you might expect during playoffs. The more physical, the faster paced. So yeah, it's all good stuff to take a little bit here and there from and put it back into your game.
What's been the message from Anaheim this season? Like, what do they see that they want you to work on or continue to improve upon?
Yeah, for sure. I think, improving upon my whole game is obviously my, what I want for this season. And then maybe some of the defensive zone stuff is obviously very important because you can be playing against, very good players throughout the rest of this season. And, in years to come, I'm going to be playing against bigger, faster, stronger guys. So I need to prepare for that now. And, every game I need to learn from. I need to practice defending, or playing the right way is really important. So, yeah, what I can get out of it playing this year is very, very good and very important. I think I'll use it a lot going into next year.
Well, like we touched on earlier, you guys are home this weekend for a pair, and then you're on the road for a little bit. About 20 games left in the season. What do you guys need to kind of fine tune on? I know we touched on it a little bit, but what do you want to fine tune on to be prepared for that long playoff run, hopefully?
Yeah, I think our special teams is finding its groove a bit. We have some new guys put in and new guys playing different positions. So we've been working on that a lot in practice, and we're looking to really get rolling here so we can, every time we're on the power play or on the penalty kill, it's kind of automatic. Like we're know what we're doing. We're on the same page. So then we have that opportunity to stop a goal or score a big one.
You able to give me any kind of a status on Jakub Demek? Is he close? Is he coming back? Like, do you know at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure how far he's out, but I think he's making some progress for sure. I think I don't know when his first game's going to be or anything, but yeah, I think everyone's excited, and there's some anticipation for him to come back into the lineup. Big body, he's a skilled player. So yeah, we're very excited to get him in the lineup.
Awesome. Olen, this has been great. Really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me take up so much of your time today. Good luck in the final 20 games and playoffs and your run to the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.